Okay, I put it on.
It's very sharp. You figured out I wasn't going to learn how to use that anytime flat.
All right, so Kid is making me videotape
Yes,
Tom, and
right.
Tom is being forced to say something.
Exactly.
And there's absolutely no pressure. None. None at all.
So Tom, introduce yourself.
Because
Tell us about your...
this is supposed to live on in history forever. So
Yeah.
go ahead.
All right, hello everybody, my name is Tom Willis. I did my graduate work at the University of Michigan in electromagnetics and electrical engineering. And then I came to work for AT&T Bell Laboratories at the time over in the Homedale building. I know probably some of you have been over in that building and worked there until we basically kicked all the AT&T people out. And then we moved to Red Bank for a few years and then finally moved over to Middletown over here. And currently I'm working on Project Air Gig over there.
Project what?
Air Gig. Have you heard of it?
No, what is it?
Okay, something to Google.
Okay.
It's an experimental project where we're trying to put microwave signals down power lines and to provide, to do things like give people high-speed internet access and also to do cell site backhaul for all the gazillion 5G cells that are going to have to go going forward.
So 5G is going to happen, you think?
Well, someday.
Wait till...
Reusing copper.
The idea is, obviously in most neighborhoods there's all sorts of overhead power lines, right? Which are, they're usually aluminum power lines. But the idea is to, basically couple microwave signals on those lines and then modulate them and you have detectors every so often.
That was called carrier.
Well, it's broadband over power line or power line carrier stuff. It's similar to that, but those systems use much lower frequencies. These we're up in the microwave band, so we got a lot more bandwidth to work with. So we get it to work.
Different people call microwave different from physics to regulatory. What do you call microwave frequencies?
There's frequencies. In my mind, that's about 1 gigahertz to about 30 gigahertz, and above 30 is millimeter.
Because physicists, it's like 450 megahertz is microwave.
So when you think about how this technology, are you happy to be involved with this particular technology? Is it something that...
Oh, it's a very interesting project. I mean, we'll see how it plays out from a business standpoint. It's yet to be seen, but there's a lot of interesting work there, a lot of interesting challenges that have to be overcome. And I don't know if you guys have been. Is anybody here an AT&T employee? No. Okay. Well, we got retired. Former AT&T employee. I don't know if you're familiar with the Middletown complex. We have a big test bed set up there.
We're all derivatives.
Yeah, derivatives of AT&T.
I started at AT&T. Cool. Excellent. Margaret, you want to answer that?
All right, I'm Margaret Lyons.
We can't hear you.
You can't hear me?
I mean, there's so much more.
He's being funny. Okay.
All right, so I'm Margaret Lyons, and I'm also I'm a consultant. So after you guys all invent it and it gets loose out of the lab, people are using it. I'll work with mostly public safety, transportation, or the carriers. For the carriers, I'll do zoning hearings, I'll be their RF expert, help get those sites built, which is one of the reasons I'm interested in this, because the world at large is afraid of that radio radiation. So any more I can humanize and put around it really helps that part of things.
Cool. Thank you.
Okay, my name is Alex Walter. I know Tom and I used to be in the same department at AT&T. I began my career in satellite communications at Northrop Grumman in California. Then moved to New Jersey. Started working at AT&T in the microwave department with Tom. And as the business needs changed, it became more of a lightwave-focused communication department. So I was between AT&T and Lucid. I was in the Homedale building for about 10 years or so, and also at Tyco Telecom for a short while after that. I was a practicing patent attorney for 10 years after that, but became more interested in found that I was more interested in the technical aspects than the legal aspects. So now I'm a patent consultant, still associated with patents. In fact, I have my own patent, which which issued a couple years ago, and the other one issued this coming week.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
What's it in? What's it about?
My first patent is in pushpin artwork. And I was inspired by a story that I read a few years ago about a corporate attorney in Manhattan who gave up his law practice in order to develop Lego sculptures full-time.
Nice.
In the article, it said that he made more money and had way more satisfaction as a Lego artist, sculptor, than practicing law. So I can definitely understand that. And my patent coming up this coming week is part of the manufacturing fixture for making it.
Is that a design patent or?
No, both are utility patents. So yeah, I was very pleased to get the one on the pushpin artwork itself, and then I have in the pipeline, as I said, the one on the manufacturing fixture, plus a few others on different parts of the manufacturing fixture. And it's given me an opportunity to self-educate a little bit on robotics, machine control, Arduino programming, and related topics.
That's great. I wonder if we could invite like each of you to come for like at some point, like maybe a little panel thing to bring a slide or two or some video or some object that you like, and then the next time we get together we can learn a little bit more about these way cool things that are bringing us into the present.
I think it's rare
Yeah.
to have someone like you who has patents and also serve or work as a patent legal lawyer, or
Well,
is that rare arrangement?
Tom and I had a discussion tangential to this during the last meeting we were at together, and after having been a practicing patent attorney, it's way easier to come up with the ideas after seeing what has been granted as patents. Way easier to come up with the ideas than to push it forward through the patent office.
I made a mistake. I said lawyer.
Pardon me?
I made a mistake. I said lawyer instead of attorney. I didn't know my daughter said I'm law, so she would have corrected me.
We're surrounded by attorneys in this room. We just don't know it. Philomena, he's going to read this.
Okay.
Yeah. I have a hard time hearing him. I have a hard time hearing anyway.
So I'm Philomena Cinderella, and I started my career at Motorola. Can you hear me? And so there I was.
Is it on?
I don't think it's on.
I don't think it's on.
Where's the speaker?
You're on.
Hello?
The Consumer Electronics chapter would get this right.
Yeah.
You know?
You get feedback.
Yeah.
Is it better?
I think it was getting a little
It's just still not on.
Yeah.
Oh, is it? Oh, then.
Yeah.
Hello?
Get it closer to your mouth.
Hello? Hello? Seems like it's cranking.
No, I think the microphone has to be almost touching it.
Hello?
That's all it is.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Bacteria. We're going to have to get Lysol.
Yeah, I know.
Hello? That's crazy. I can hear the buzz. I can hear the hum on here.
Where's the spring?
Why did it in my ears?
He went into his garden. Alright, we're gonna have to scream at each other. So, yeah, I started my career at Motorola two-way. I was a wireless data engineer, and I kind of learned about two-way. I call it the east side. And then from there I went to Lucent and worked on, so at Motorola I was actually installing systems, designing systems. At Lucent I got into more of product design and then architecture design. That had my daughter, and then I started volunteering with IEEE. So right now, I've been in this chapter forever, AMC 18-8B, so I pretty much had a good position. Right now I'm our secretary for the position, and I'm also the treasurer for the section.
You've people have to rotate. I don't know if everyone's aware of that, but we have to rotate positions. We can't stay in any one, so they're all equivalent. You're a volunteer, and the only answer is thank you, right?
So the cool thing about this setup, which was Kit's idea, is that rather than having a typical lecture style talk, we bring in a speaker and she would speak for 30, 40 minutes, and maybe you get a little Q&A at the end. The cool thing about this concept is we come in and we all talk about the topic. Last time we had a video and Kit coined it dinner and a movie.
Which is great.
And we all went around the table and everybody had comments, to add to it. It was, a little bit controversial, but it's not about that. It's more about what your background is and what you bring to the table. So, what do you think about radiation? That's really what we're going to talk about today.
Yeah, I think
Omar's going to kind of lead us into this.
the format works well if limited number of people. We have
We had about
20, 30.
Well, we had about 20 people
really?
the first time. You weren't here for that last year?
No.
Oh,
It
no,
was
that worked
great.
very well.
It was great.
It doesn't matter because everybody, the point is, some people are going to talk more.
Yeah.
Some people are not going to want to talk, but we drew them out.
Right. We were afraid that people weren't going to talk. And so Raghu decided he needed to select people to be the pro and the con, the leaders of the pro and the con team. So we had Benucci, Dr. Benucci, and I can't remember who was the con. I guess it was Raghu. I don't know. Well, so we had a pro and a con person who provoked people to take sides in this debate about what technology is going to win out of a vehicular technology. Yeah, and everybody had something to say, and it was great.
The one with the best lobbyists.
Some of you might know and some of you might not know. Kit is our new position. It's not a new position at IEEE, just our section, our history person. So Kit is, some of her questions are going to be around, we want to document what you did in your career. You just got a patent, we'd like to hear more about that.
Right.
And these are the kind of things that possibly IEEE, or at least in our section, weren't capturing. And I think this is this is a value add to our members. Because we're actually interested in what you're doing.
Yeah, and how we can play a role in bringing it, making it important and remembering it, commemorating it. We want the history site to be like a living document, so people can go to it and find things there.
Right now it's dead.
Yeah, it's got a 1984, a scan. It's got a PDF of some document from 1984, and I can't even find those people that are in the document. It's very, very, very daunting. So I was provoked. I was like poking people with a stick up at headquarters and poking people with a stick over at Stevens Institute at the history section. And they said, when I get finished with this thing, can we use it as a template and go to different sections and offer the other sections to do a similar kind of thing? Just to draw out their membership. Find out who's in the sections. Find out what they've done. Figure out a good way to, some of us use Google Scholar. We stick our stuff in Google Scholar, we set it up, and then it automatically goes out and it finds things about us and our citations and stuff. And some people just don't do that they're not in the habit of it, and it's certainly not linked to the IEEE website. So, but there are tools like that we might be able to employ. And one of them, the IEEE folks, they have something called oral history, where they go with a camera. They record people, but they select the people individually, and they set up a meeting, and then they make a transcript of it. That might be a little bit overwhelming for us to try to do, and whatever. But I think if we have meetings like this format, we'll kill two birds with one stone. We'll try to let people know we really do care about them, and that they should come out and share with us what it is that's important to them, and what they see and think, and all that, so we can record it. I'm always telling Eamon, who, by the way, is a patent attorney, I tell him that one of the most spectacular things I can think of that a patent attorney does is he or she listens and hears a person's unique voice, captures it, and preserves it. This is an important thing for each of us in our lives. This is the thing that we live for, right? It's the thing, it's our own personal voice, our song, you know. And as a patent attorney, you have a unique opportunity to do that. And in our section, we have a unique opportunity to do that, to inspire others, to capture the moment and to share it. So that's what this is like a beginning here. So thanks very much for taking that.
I just want to say two other things before I move on. First of all, Eamon was part of our chapter for many, many years, and also part of our section. And it was kind of coincidental because Eamon was in my chapter, and then I had met Kit, and somewhere along the line they met each other, and Kit said, "Wait, that's Kit August?"
And Eamon said that.
So it turns out that Kit has, I think, what, 78? 70. I keep saying 80, but all right, so it's 70 patents. And Eamon over here.
I prosecuted a few of them.
Right, so
Yeah.
he was seeing this name, K. August, all these years.
Well, it was August, and the way that Alcatel or Lucent or Lucent, when you did it, it's the inventor's name, the inventor's names plural in alphabetical order, and then the number of the case. And so one of the cases I remember very much, I don't remember the actual case, but it was August 29, and it was a bear. It was a bear to prosecute. I was on multiple appeals and this and that. But August 29th, I called it the Terminator case. I mean, it was August 29th is Judgment Day in the Terminator movies, you know. And then when I finally met her, I was like, oh my God! And I told her this. Yeah.
So with that end, I think what we're trying to do is something different, maybe, but certainly valuable, is really to recognize each individual as an individual. And, it's easy to give an award to the person who gets a patent. It's easy to give an award to the person who
won the Nobel Prize.
Right. But you don't have to get a patent. You don't have to win the Nobel Prize. But you do have a value that is truly valuable, and that's what this is about.
Yeah.
Everybody has a unique perspective on what they're doing, and that's what we're trying to capture here. So with that, I'm going to be quiet and let you speak.
Tell us about yourself.
Hello,
Hi. Nice to meet you.
my name is Don Aves, and I've been an engineer for about 60 years. In keeping with the patent deal, my biggest job or education in giving education was teaching the patent attorney what I was trying to, actually what the patent was all about, and not going down the path that the patent attorney wanted to go. Eventually, I learned from the patent attorney how my patent was really supposed to work, not the way I wanted it to work.
Yep.
So it's like a mentor situation. And at the beginning, in my career, I was able to, after school, go in the Army, and that's an opportunity, but
Your presence was requested.
and got into Fort Monmouth here.
They made you an offer you couldn't refuse.
And the surrounding areas where I was here for 3 years doing, I would have to say, like, field work. But we were, as an Army person, you were separated from civilians. So it was a kind of a strange position to be in the Army and still doing civilian work. That was where I was exposed to radar, was at Fort Monmouth, and I was able to grow in that sense, where normally you couldn't get into radar. There was no, you'd either have to be in the Navy or the Army, somewhat in the Air Force, but not, it wasn't, normal kids could not go from college into radar. The beginning, my first job was in field work, and it was at broadcast stations, radio, television broadcast stations. There they use very large kilowatt transmitters, large transmission lines, and large towers. Typically 2,000-foot towers. That was where you got to go up and see the world, so to speak. But that was, and you have problems in keeping equipment that you manufactured going with no help. You're the only one out there. You may have some tower people, but most engineers don't go up towers. And that's where the beginning of, you get an understanding of what's going, how you should really behave in the engineering areas. The transmission lines typically are very robust and large. Typically 3-inch diameter stuff for normal FM radio stuff.